Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to take a closer look at Nvidia. More importantly, two important topics, in my opinion. The first topic is going to be on TSMC. The company just gave us their monthly revenue report for December, and it does kind of give us some insight into the AI market, at least for now. And the second thing I want to take a closer look at is Nvidia on January 9th. So yesterday did have kind of a virtual fireside chat with JP Morgan, and the CFO did share a lot of great information about NVIDIA for 2024 and beyond. So we're going to take a closer look at some of the great key points there. So let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
One of the bullish cases right now that's impacting NVIDIA is definitely TSMC. Like I mentioned, the company did give us their overall revenue report for the month. So if we take a closer look at TSMC's monthly revenue report, we can see December 2023 versus November of 2023. So month over month did see a decrease of 14.4%. Usually in the back end of the year and the first few quarters of the year are usually the first few months of the year are usually the weakest. We start to see more of a pickup, usually in second quarter and third quarter for chip manufacturing, and the first half of the last quarter. Now, if we take a closer look at December 2023 versus December of 2022, year over year decrease was roughly 8.4%. So you guys might be wondering, hey, Jose, you mentioned that revenue, these numbers were supposed to be bullish for NVIDIA and for TSMC. And while we are seeing both a year over year and a month over month decline, this is actually better than what analysts expected. And one of the main reasons that analysts do believe is because AI demand is offsetting a lot of the weakness that we saw in chip manufacturing right now due to overall macroeconomics. And if AI demand is being boosted right now, their biggest customer here in the AI market is, you guessed it, Nvidia. So this in kind of a turnaround wheel, if TSMC is doing good because of the AI market, it means they're most likely selling more AI chips, and the one that's going to be receiving a lot of those AI chips in theory is going to be Nvidia. So that's overall bullish because it means they're going to be able to sell more on this heavily supply constrained market. So I do believe that's the first case of why Nvidia is bullish right now and is pretty green. Next, I want to take a closer look at this conference that they had yesterday on January 9th. But before we go any further, guys, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 30,000 subs by the end of the month. Hopefully we can get there, and I truly appreciate all the support. So here in this virtual conference, it was with the CFO of Nvidia, and there are a few things that they discuss. I do believe I have 5 points here, or 5 reasons of why Nvidia might be bullish after this conference. Reason number one is just the overall growth. The company initially just started with just the overall growth that the company has seen in the past year. First, they mentioned the importance of accelerated computing and generative AI as ongoing trends for their data center market. And that's very important, right? Right now, we only think of NVIDIA really being bullish in generative AI and AI solutions, but there's two things at work right now: accelerated computing and generative AI. And NVIDIA wants to make sure that you know, as an investor, know that that's the reason the company is seeing huge growth. And one of the bullish trends is companies, cloud server providers, data center providers all continue to modify their infrastructure to incorporate generative AI to improve their accelerated computing, and that overall is going to do well for the company's revenue number. Now, the CFO did mention that, hey, look, 2023 was a heavily supply constrained market, and every quarter they were able to improve supply, and they plan to continue to do that to grow supply throughout 2024, and they believe that they will still be a supply constrained market even with that growth. So obviously that bodes that 2024 calendar year is going to be amazing for Nvidia. Other things that they do mention is how they're changing their development cycle from over 2 years to approximately 1 year now. This is a big change. This is something that's obviously going to impact things like operating expenses. But remember, the company is floating on free cash flow right now, so they are willing to kind of do that research and development to continue to hold market share and continue to be the leader here. Now, they gave us a lot of growth opportunities in the data center market. We kind of see, right, just your overall data center growth. But But more importantly, something we have been talking about a lot in this channel is sovereign AI development globally, which is a multi-billion-dollar market. And this is as each country is trying to develop their own AI solutions, as an AI solution that might work in the United States might not be compliant, might not work in Europe, might not meet the cultural differences in Japan, might not meet the cultural differences in India, and so on and so forth. So every country has their own data sets, their own healthcare records, the list goes on and on, that each country is developing their own AI solution via a sovereign AI, and that is a multi-billion-dollar market. Reason number two for investors to be pretty bullish in Nvidia right now is there was a discussion about 2024 and beyond. And they started off here kind of discussing during the earnings call that there was a question for Jensen about 2025 and if 2025 was going to be a growth year for Nvidia. And Jensen mentioned that yes, 2025 would be a growth year for Nvidia, but unfortunately, it left investors and analysts questioning because Nvidia actually is about a fiscal year ahead compared to calendar year of a calendar year. So fiscal year of 2025 is actually calendar year of 2024. So the analysts were kind of more wondering, did Jensen mean that it was going to be growth in calendar 2024 or calendar 2025? And the CFO mentions that, hey, look, they're anticipating of launching new products at the late of calendar 2024. So they do believe that they are going to continue to grow in calendar year of 2025. So this obviously pushes more bullish trends, as not only are we going to see a strong year here in calendar 2024, but we're also expected to see a strong year in calendar 2025. Now, reason number three was we did hear some sentiments over China. Obviously, we have heard about the H20. Nvidia didn't really give us any confirmation about the H20 going out on the on the second quarter of 2024, like we've kind of heard about and discussed in this channel before. But Nvidia does mention that, look, they are working to maintain transparent discussion with the United States government about market strategy. So they're definitely working with them. There are even ongoing reviews of products being marketed in China, including those that are not requiring US government approvals. So Nvidia is really trying to stay ahead of this to make sure that they don't see any form of lackness again due to United States maybe creating new regulations. So they're even working on products that are not requiring US government approvals right now. So I do believe that bodes well. The company does believe that by the end, by this calendar year, they didn't give us the beginning, the second half, or the end of this calendar year, but they're confident that they will be providing solutions for Chinese customers within this calendar year. And they are actively discussing with their customers to understand their needs and goals and to kind of tell them that, hey, look, this is what we're working on. This is what you might see within the upcoming quarters. So we do believe that maybe China is going to be a little bit more stronger for them opposed to the weakness we're going to see here in quarter four. Now, reason number four is the automotive market, right? So Nvidia does mention that in the past 5 years, this has seen a 25% compounded annual growth rate, that right now it has achieved a 1.1 billion run rate in calendar year of 2023. And Nvidia holds a huge pipeline of roughly $14 billion. Now, in 2024, they are going to see a nice ramping up of their Orin chip technology and design wins this year. So that's going to bode well for their automotive revenue segment. And they do mention that they are already beginning implementation of design wins for their Thor technology. Their Thor is the chip after the Orin, so that bodes well. Now, they already have some significant partnerships with Mercedes and Jaguar Land Rover. Mercedes is expected to ramp up in calendar of 2025, and Jaguar is expected to ramp up in calendar year of 2026. Obviously, they also mentioned, and we saw about this in CES, some strong wins in the new electric vehicle market with Orin in China, and a lot of great partnerships with some Chinese players as well. So now reason number five is just others. There were some interesting questions that I do believe investors should know. There was a question kind of talking about ARM-based processors in the consumer market, right? We know NVIDIA has Grace for the data center market. And one of the questions was like, hey, will you ever bring that into the consumer market one way or another? And NVIDIA says, yes, that's an opportunity, but right now they rather focus on data centers, probably because they have higher margins there and less competition to some extent. The software has also grown, or SaaS as a service has grown to a 1 billion annual run rate as of last quarter, and they do expect this to continue to grow as they continue to grow the hardware market share and the infrastructure market share, so they will continue to be able to cross-sell their software solutions. Finally, they do mention that the mix of wallet spending will continue to shift to GPUs compared to historical spending, which favor more CPUs. So overall, we did see some bullish cases, and I do believe we did hear some new interesting things about NVIDIA's future, especially beyond 2024 into calendar year of 2025. And we did hear a little bit more about their automotive segment as well. So I hope you guys do enjoy today's segment. It was a really nice, I really did enjoy reading this transcript from NVIDIA's most recent Fire Chat event, and I hope you guys enjoyed the information. So take care, have a good day, and see you next time.